One of the guys who was there is Peter Rees, a big name himself, joining us here on Sports Sunday. Pete, it's good to talk to you, and you've got a big venture coming up, Out the Huddle. You do your work with Canes Insight. You continue that. We'll get to that in a moment, but as far as Paradise Camp, you were out there, you saw all those all-time greats. What impact do you think it had, and what was your overall assessment of the day yesterday?
Well, first of all, just to have these guys back on campus, the former Canes, it's something that excites them, that Coach Richt likes to have them back involved with the program. We saw previously with the former staffs before that, the guys weren't really coming back on campus as much. Their presence wasn't really felt, so they like that in general. But then for the recruits themselves, you have a kid by the name of Will Mallory, for example, one of the top tight ends in the country out of the Jacksonville area. He has a chance to work with Jeremy Shockey and, you know, for example, running back commit Lorenzo Lingard, 5-star recruit, gets a chance to work with Willis McGahee, and that can really make an impact, not to mention guys like Ed Reed, some of the defensive back commits, Josh Jobe, Gervin Hall, a couple safeties. Imagine that, get a chance to work with the best safety of all time, in some people's opinion.
Now, Pete, for your site, you got some behind-the-scenes access that a lot of people didn't get. Was there a story, was there something that came out of there that maybe you're going to give us a little later, but maybe you can give us ahead of time a little bit of insight into some of the stuff that was going on that we haven't seen yet?
Well, it was really cool for me to see a lot of the footage from behind the scenes, again, of these former Canes interacting with each other. Before they went on the field with the coaching staff and with the recruits, they were up back in the team meeting rooms, just interacting with each other. It was cool to see how relaxed they were, how laid back they were for the whole, event. Again, excited to be back there. The excitement is in the air with football back around the corner, and these guys feel like something special is about to happen down there in Coral Gables.
All right, if it's going to happen, whatever happens this season with this team, a lot of it's going to depend on the starting quarterback. So catch us up on the field, what's going on. Camp starts on August 1st, just a few days away. Who's going to be the starting quarterback? I think everybody expects Perry's the kid that's going to get it done. Is it that much of a cut and dry slam dunk situation?
Well, I'll put it this way. N'Kosi Perry, freshman, who's been there since May, he's going to be getting every opportunity to win this job. Coach Richt probably wants to have the starter named after the first two scrimmages in fall camp, which opens August 1st, so right around the corner. So I would say he's going to give Perry, again, a lot of opportunities early on with that first team unit. All they've had in this summer is 7-on-7 stuff, so not with the pads on. That pressure is going to be coming at him. We'll see what he has. But the number one thing for him has been getting in that playbook, and from everything I've been told, he's been doing just that.
Take us behind the scenes a little bit on that too, Pete, if you will. I know that they're not allowed to do a lot of organized stuff yet, any organized stuff yet as far as the coaches being there, but what are you hearing as far as, I know it's just 7-on-7, but be it footwork, be it how he's reading some of the stuff that he's already seeing, how is he looking compared to maybe what you would think for a true freshman?
Well, right off the bat, from everything I've heard, most physically gifted quarterback on the roster, live arm, can move around inside and outside of the pocket. And his presence out there, I mean, he just throws such a beautiful ball out there, again, talking to people around the team. And then the other thing I would say that's important about these 7-on-7s and whatnot for a young quarterback like that is getting his connections with his receivers. A guy like Amon Richards, he had great timing with Brad Kaya last year on the field. But then you have other receivers out there. Tight end Chris Herndon, I believe, is in for a big year. A couple freshmen, Jeff Thomas, Mike Harley at the receiver spot, speedsters that I expect to get involved early. For a young quarterback, this is the time that he can get that timing down with his receivers and targets out there.
All right, let's turn to the defensive side. And Clay and I have had a lot of discussions about this defense. There's a lot of excitement because of the front seven. But, Pete, I know one of the things you've been looking at is the secondary. And not that there's not talent there, but there's certainly questions about that talent because we haven't seen them on the field. What are you getting so far? What's your gauge and read on what the secondary can and will be?
Well, it's going to be a much different look back there. You lose two experienced guys at safety in Rayshon Jenkins, now with the Chargers, and then Jamal Carter now with the Denver Broncos. So Sheldrick Redwine going to be moving over from that cornerback position now at safety. I expect his high school teammate, actually, Jaquan Johnson, who's been at Miami for a few years, to start opposite of him at safety. But two guys I'm looking at defensive back, at corner in specific, two guys coming in with a lot of experience. D. Delaney, grad transfer from the Citadel, and he's a big corner, 6'1". He's sitting at about 205 pounds right now, so he's a big physical body. Got draftable grades out of the Citadel last year, could have gone out, but scouts told him, look, if you come back, you go to a school that potentially has some better competition, you get some film like that, then you can really raise your stock. And then Javonte Dean, junior college cornerback, one of the top JUCO guys in the country, has experience out of Blinn JUCO out there in Texas, same school that Cam Newton went to. Size, speed, length, I see him as an immediate contributor this season.
Pete, we know your work with the Miami Herald and Canes Insight, but you got a really cool thing that's starting right now, Out the Huddle. Tell us what kind of makes this different from a lot of the stuff that you've done in the past and a lot of things that other sites may do.
Well, it's something I'm partnering with DJ Williams, John Vilma, Brett Romberg, and Antrell Roll, and these guys are really excited about this project as well. Really what it is, it's a platform for Canes fans where not only are these guys, of course, going to be going back and telling you stories that you've never heard before, but they're going to be pretty much analysts for the team this year and the teams moving forward and whatnot. These guys are around the program. Again, they're working out at the weight room. They're around the team. They're around the culture. So hearing it from them is going to be a really cool perspective for fans. So check it out, outthehuddle.com. We're going to have podcasts a couple times a week, video blogs, all sorts of stuff. Really unique content out there for Canes fans.
So, Pete, we wish you the best of luck with it, Peter. We'll definitely be checking it out. And let's see, about a year or two ago, you were here as a student, and now you got more startup companies than Mark Cuban. That's great to see. Good stuff. We look forward to outthehuddle.com. Pete's Inside, you can always catch it, as Clay mentioned, the Miami Herald, Canes Inside as well. Good stuff as always, Peter. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.